Youth in disguise, Marty, but I was afraid you wouldn't recognize me. I went to a rejuvenation clinic and got a whole natural overhaul. They took out some wrinkles, did a hair repair, change of blood, added a good 30 to 40 years to my life. They also replaced my spleen and colon. What do you think?
You look great, Doc.
Welcome back to Duckman Cycles and VW Garage. I am your host, the Duckman. We're back today with with another rainy day. This isn't even in the forecast. Here I'm back trying to record videos, and guess what? I can't due to, weather problems. I got my sweater on here because I thought it was going to be cold when I walked out this morning because that was the forecast. It was supposed to be cold today and starting to clear, and instead it's really warm, humid, sticky, and, raining. Yesterday's midday Q&A didn't go up until like 4 o'clock. I just ended up just too busy with other things, and I couldn't get the video edited in time. And I wanted to get a tech video up, but unfortunately due to the rain, I didn't even have that happen. So we're going to do the best we can to get something out for today. So please like, comment, subscribe. Check out Duckman Cycles VW Garage. Visit my webpage, duckshit.net. It's right up there in that corner. You can see my little web address, and that will take you to my Patreon page. And as always, I'm looking for, help. I mean, I put a lot of money into this channel sometimes, so, anything that you can throw at me is much appreciated. We'll be back in just a minute after we roll that intro, so thanks for watching. Doop. Well, minutes after I started that intro recording, I got called into work. Big surprise. Anyway, I spent all my morning over there and most of my afternoon. Right now it's pretty late in the afternoon. We're looking at about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I've got about an hour of daylight left. Now, I found one of my photography lights and I put it inside of Eleanore, so I think I can run actually a little bit late on this recording tonight. So I'm going to go as long as I can, but what we need to do is we need to finish up the hatch area inside the back of Eleanore, my 1956 Volkswagen Beetle, who was caught in a hurricane and unfortunately seawater damaged underneath 6 feet. You know the story, you know the drill, as far as I'm going to go with it. She's now a custom chop top, as you can see, and inside the back, currently I've got all my tools and shit thrown in there. But you can see a hatch that I welded into the area from a Volkswagen bus. What I need to finish doing is I need to finish welding that sucker in and doing some grinding on it and making it look like it was a factory installation. So that's what we're going to do today. And there's the photography light that I found that I forgot I had. And I've got the orange filter in there, which actually gives it a very normal looking yellow light as opposed to the LEDs, which make kind of a bluish white. So that gives a more natural light to it, a warmer tone. Okay, let's go ahead and get started in here, get things set up. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Join Duckman Cycles VW Garage up on the Facebook group page. And don't forget, I also have an Instagram, VV the Duck VV, and my midday Q&A videos are now going up over on VV the Duck VV here on YouTube. And I think also this weekend we're going to get a video up for Skeeter the Duck, so make sure that you check out Skeeter the Duck's channel too. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back right after the intro. All right, here we are back again inside of Eleanore, the 1956 Beetle, working on that rear hatch. And I gotta say, that light makes one heck of a difference looking at this area back here. So what we need to do is Need to get up in here and weld this area in. Need to weld along the back. Need to weld along this here. Also need to weld in a couple little spots here where I use the tin snips and cut it this way. There's a little spot here, a little spot here, a little spot here. And then of course I need to manufacture this corner because this has a swedge that they put into this here, which was factory from the late model panel, the replacement panel that I used with this bus hatch. Of course these two are never meant to mesh together, so I got to do a little bit of fabricating and forming in here, and I'm going to leave the dimple in the way it is. I don't think I'm going to use that for a wire channel again. I'll run the wires the way the earlier Beetles do up through here. There's no reason for me to follow the channel for a late model. Comes that noisy car again. Less noisy than it has been. There he goes. Alright. Opening up this hatch. Oops, I think I just locked it instead of opening it. Yeah, that was... Alright, lift that up. Now this side has been a little bit twisted up, so it's a little hard to get it out of there. And I'm going to have to repair that corner. As you can see, it's all bent out of shape. and that one's nice and straight. So that's something I need to work on in the future. Not a big concern right now. It looks like in here, this area kind of sunk in a little bit too. I'll have to come in from the underside and hit it with a hammer and bang it back up so it's level, but it's actually a little concave right in here. Not how it's supposed to be. And you know what? It just started raining. It just started raining. Rain was not in the forecast anymore, and it just started raining. It never fails. This car comes out, it gets rained on. Every single time. Every single time it gets rained on. Unbelievable. Okay, you know what? I'm starting to see blue skies coming through. I'm just gonna let this pass. Just let it pass and not get too angry about it. Alright, let's see if we can get some welding done. As I was welding around the areas here, around the outside, of course, you weld a little bit, you skip a gap, you weld a little more, so that's what I did here. Welded, skipped, welded, skipped, welded, welded, skipped, welded, and then over here, welded, here's a skip. So anyways, you guys get the drift there. But while I was doing the welding, I was having a lot of trouble for some reason, and I'm still having trouble with it, getting the right settings on it. It's either I'm completely blowing holes right through the metal, or I'm not getting enough penetration. And I don't quite understand what it is that I'm doing wrong. I checked my ground, and my ground is good. I checked the wire settings, the wire feed, and everything seems to be feeding rather smoothly. Everything was good here until my light just went out. Now it looks like we're having technological differences. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Looks like it doesn't have any power. Okay, we're gonna fix my stupid light and I'll be right back. Well, I changed out the power supply. Here's the wire going up. And seems to be working again. Good thing too. Anyway, it was an old Linksys power supply that I had on here, 12 volt, 500 milliamp, and that's plenty adequate to power this light, but they sure got hot. But anyway, I replaced it with a 12 volt, 1 amp power supply. So I should be putting out a little more wattage on there, and you know, for whatever it's worth, it might actually get a little less hot. I'm gonna continue welding in here. For some reason, the light seems a different color. It seems more white than it did before. I wonder if that has something to do with the power supply. Might. I do have my filter still attached on there. If I take the filter off, you see how it turns very bluish white. The filter on, it has a much more warm color. Yeah, the filter is still attached. Anyway, I don't know what the hell the color's all about, but I don't care. There's plenty of lighting in here to get the job done. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing finished up here. And, well, honestly, I just want to be done with this. I'm really tired of working on this section of the car, and it doesn't need a whole lot more. Another thing that I noticed real quickly before I cut back to welding is that this section in here, which I thought was going to be a lot more flimsy, actually isn't. When I push down on it, it's extremely rigid. When I lift up, however, it's floppy, which is kind of weird, but that's good, because pushing down is the way the force is going to be placed on it. That means this does not need a reinforcement. I was going to do it anyway, but I don't think I need to do it anymore. No. Not even worried about it, not in the least. Alright, let's go ahead and jump back on this thing. figured I should stop for a moment just to go ahead and change out the GoPro battery, which gave me an opportunity to have a look at the welding work that I've done in here. And we've got most of this side done already. I didn't bother to weld up in here because this is the section I'm actually going to cut out so I can put in that receiver where the little hinge divot goes into the hole. So I have to cut a little piece out of there. Same goes for over in here, so I haven't welded in there yet either. Otherwise, I got almost all the holes surround on that side. There's a couple of pinholes here and there I need to touch up. And I need to finish the same thing on this corner over here and down that side. And then this corner in here, the more I'm looking at it, the more I think I'm overthinking it. I probably just need to whack it with a hammer a little bit in here, fold it in, and see how big of a gap that we have, and then just make some adjustments as necessary, and maybe even just put the welding spoon on the other side and just fill it in. You know, I may not have to do anything too fancy in there. Well, let's just go ahead and keep on running. I'm seeing street lights and stuff are starting to turn on, which we got a bunch of new LED street lights now. I don't have any yet by my house. My lights haven't kicked on yet either, but theirs did. Anyway, it's getting dark, but there's still plenty of time for me to finish this because I have my photography light, which is an excellent work light. I gotta say, that thing works really well in here. All right, back at it. Here we go. Not only did I get the entire surround welded in, but I went over it again with a higher welder setting. I'm actually pushing it up from between A and D. I actually went up to C and ran along through here and here one more time. And I'm still seeing a couple pinholes in there I need to hit. So what I'll probably do is I'll come back here and hit some of the pinholes and then go over the rest of it again with the C setting. Up front here, everything seems fine. And then the sides here, yeah, there's some places where it went through and you know what? Actually, I don't think it's that bad. I really don't think it's that bad at all. I think I did get some adequate penetration, and I think it's going to be okay. But I'm going to go over it one more time anyway, because when I grind this down, I don't want to be finding voids in it. So if there's any little hollow bubbles or anything, of course, they'll be popping, and then it'll just look like shit, and I'll have to weld it again anyway. All right. But I think that's pretty good wrapping it up for the night. I got my hatch over here. It's probably not going to go in anymore because the areas where those hinges normally would be pushing into, now that side still fits, but this side's all f***ed up. That's the fault of the hinge, not so much the welding job, but you know what it'll do? It'll go in just fine backwards for tonight. When I put this in the garage, I like to put it together backwards anyway. Why is it not going in all the way? Did I find a problem here? Or did I make a problem here? You know what? It may not be square. The lid may not be square. It may be forming into the opening as was designed to go this way. That's exactly what it does. Okay, so how about that? It turns out the lid and the opening aren't absolutely square. They do fit and they do fit well, but they only fit one way. They're not completely symmetrical. No, they're not completely symmetrical at all. Okay, that's interesting, but that's not going to matter because we're never going to install the thing backwards anyway. But the reason why I did it this way is so that way I could put my junk and my tools up on top of this when I push it back in the garage. So all this type of stuff will all go up here. And once I got that all wrapped up, then just push it on into the garage. And everything will be ready for me to go. The next day I'm ready to come out here and start welding. And that'll probably be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday and tomorrow is going to be my day off. So I'm going to be ignoring everybody's phone calls and everything else. It's supposed to be a nice warm 60 degrees Fahrenheit sunny day here in Florida. I think I should be able to make some more progress on this and get this thing done once and for all. I'd like to at least have it ground smooth and get some phosphoric acid on there because you can see the surface rust is actually starting to form on here. And I don't much like that. No, I don't much like that at all. But once I got the opening done, guess what? Then it's time to start welding in the holes that are on this thing. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole. That whole corner is destroyed. This thing is messed up. There's another hole over here. And I guess the rest of it really isn't too bad a shape. But I have a second hatch. I'm going to lay the two of them side by side and inspect them. And hopefully I can cut some good pieces off of one and weld it onto whichever one is the better of the two to patch them up. I think that's going to be it for tonight. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, pluck the dingle belly. That way you get updates every time I upload a video. And don't forget to check out my other YouTube channel, VV the Duck VV. I'm going to start doing regular updates over there about every day with my midday Q&A wherever I do updates and answer people's questions. So if you've got any questions you'd like to ask about this, you're probably going to want to subscribe to VV the Duck VV because that's where I'm going to be answering most of your questions. Alright, so thanks again for watching, you guys. I really do appreciate it, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more videos. Thanks again. See you later. Woo.